Hello, welcome to my podcast. Today, my guest is Faraz Pervaiz, and today we are going to focus on Pakistan's Christians, blasphemy laws, and a particular incident that happened with blasphemy within Pakistan. Faraz has already been on my podcast before. We did an introductory interview. So if you want to check that out, that was just a general introduction, the history of Pakistan, a little bit about more about Faraz and some general cases. Like we skimmed over multiple blasphemy cases, but today we are just going to go ahead and hone in on one blasphemy case and then talk specifically about blasphemy laws and Christians in Pakistan. So Faraz, I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor. You can take it from here.
Thank you so much, Cassandra, for this wonderful opportunity once again. And thank you so much, all your audience, those whom are showing their love and support for your podcast. So, once again, I would like to start that on 17th of January 1997, seven Muslims policemen raided the house of a Christian man, Baba Raji of Shanti Nagar. His name was Baba Raji, and he was the resident of Shanti Nagar. And according to the police officer, they came to know that a very house, some people were allegedly involved in gambling and the sale of liquor. But when they did conducted a raid, nothing was found there. During their operation, police conducted, they threw a holy Bible on the floor deliberately, intentionally, and police did not allow Baba Raji to pick it up. The Christians of that area, of the village and other villages, they took out procession against, specifically against those police officers. The deputy superintendent police, his name was Gumman. He personally went to the Shantinagar for the matter to be settled against the police who were involved in blaspheming or desecrating deliberately the Holy Bible. The Christian knew that the uh, the Christian already filed the case with the police station, and the case was in the court, and they could do nothing because they were helpless because court already started the case hearing. So at that time, the deputy superintendent police threatened the Christian that if they refuse to accepted his request to withdraw the case, they would face the dire consequences of refusing him. So on 5th February 1997, according to the Muslims, this claim was by the Muslim allegedly that a Quran was found torn in a mosque situated about uh, 1 kilometer from Christian locality or Christian area, Christian neighborhood from Shantinagar. The Islamic mullahs, uh, uh, you can call them religious Islamic religious their leaders, stated that Quran was found torn into the pieces and the name of some Christian uh, were written on the torn pages of the Quran. And the same time, the radical mullahs started announcing the news and spreading the fake news about the Quran, and uh, you know been instigating that the radical Muslim extremists. They said that the Christian must be punished for doing this against Quran, defiling Quran, or blaspheming the Quran. When uh, Shantinagar Christians heard this, they informed the local police authorities, and they tried to raise this very serious issue with the Christian clergy, Catholic clergy in there, and Salvation Army. But we Christians are bound, we are limited in our resources and everything. But on uh, 6th of February 1997, about 9 a.m. in the morning, if I'm not wrong, 30,000 to 45,000 radical extremist Muslim attacked the Shanti Nagar, a land of peace located 10 kilometer southeast of the Khanewal city, Punjab, Pakistan. Muslim attackers were equipped with various type of weapons in the presence of three to about 400 policemen. So Shanti Nagar is a Christian village of 15,000 to 20,000 people at that time, and there's some Muslim also living there, along with the many churches and mosques were also located there. Before the attack by the Muslim mob, the Christians of Shantinagar asked the police to stop the huge, a massive crowd of radicals which had gathered outside the village. Police at that time, police told all the Christians that this procession will pass peacefully through this Christian village, so you no need to be worried about anything. Christians were very relaxed that police is um, assuring them the security and the safety. Nothing, will went wrong against them. When these extremist crowd came near the village, police, sorry, did not take any action, and even asked the Christian to vacate their houses and run away and hide themselves in inside their houses. The police asked the Christian not to come outside their houses, just stay inside. They want to make sure that when the attackers are coming, they when they throw something, acid or chemical, to burn them alive in their houses. When the Muslim extremists entered the village, they were with rifles, guns, pistol, and daggers, the big knives, stick, and especially that time, handmade bombs and the other flammable chemicals. First, when they enter, they disconnected the electricity and destroyed the main transformer of the very village, and the telephone connection of a wire telephone connection of the public call office was also disconnected by the uh, procession. While destroying the village, they destroy uh, hand pumps, hand pump, the water, uh, and other electrical pumps, and also deep well pumps over there in that village. About 100% of the village was destroyed. The Muslim attacker took away all the precious things with them when they attacked: gold, ornaments, televisions, VCR, the video gadget at that time, refrigerators, clothes, uh, costly bedding, etc. So whatever they wanted, They, pick up them with them, but the rest, were collected in the rooms or in the courtyard of and put them on a fire. The Muslims even used bombs because the bombshell were found in the ashes of the houses, and the white chemical to burn the houses. They put uh, tractors, agriculture tractors, motorcycles, cars on fire. They also burned down, stole many animals, sheep, cows, dogs, horses. They even they burned the churches, schools, free medical dispensaries, Christian dispensaries, and the thousands of the Holy Bible. Uh, the Christian victim saved their lives by hiding themselves, by keeping out of their houses away. When the district administrator called the army military, the local police
Mhm.
officers mislead them. So the uh, army went in the wrong direction. Instead of going right, they, direction, thus wasting their precious time to save their lives and save their properties. The police then delaying giving charge to the army to provide more time to the attacker to destroy more houses or to steal or stole everything from there, the precious valuable goods. From outside of the village, the army saw the smoke, rise coming through the houses. But the police told the army through the wireless that this smoke was from the burning of the tires. That protester, they
Mhm.
were burning all the tires and to record their protest. Realizing the seriousness of the incident, the army rushed into the village. The smoke lead them to reach there and into the village without proper permission of the police.
Mhm.
When 15 only, you just imagine 35, 30 to 45,000 radical Islamists and only 15 army men enter the village. The then attacker started running away. The army captured some of them and handed them over to the police. But later on, the interesting thing, the police released them without taking any legal or serious action against them. According to
Mhm.
the Christians, the police and the local administration of Khanewal were directly involved in this incident, as the evidence are very solid, and as I spoke to number of the people of the village, they
Mhm.
explained me. I was talking to them recently, and they shared their experience, what happened to them on that day. So before the destruction of the Shanti Nagar on 5th February, about uh, 11 p.m.,
Mhm.
Muslim attack St. John's Catholic Church and the parish house resident of the Catholic priest, St. Joseph High School, and the boys hostel, a Christian boys hostel over there. So one day before this incident, uh, the Catholic priest is named Father Darshan, uh, informed of that time Mr. Akhtar Hasib, a deputy commissioner of Khanewal, and Dr. Pervaiz, additional deputy commissioner general of Khanewal.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, they did nothing to take any serious action. And on February 6 morning, about 200 Muslim people were not stopped. They also attacked the Protestant Anglican Church, the churches of Salvation Army, and the Christian colony of Civil Line Khanewal. They burned shops and the houses, and also beaten brutally Christian of that area. So after these incident in many other villages, Muslim people, radical Muslims, attack Christians, and Christian Muslim tension at that time was at its peak. So through the intervention of the army on move, the situation was, brought under control. So this was, uh, sorry, this was the incident that happened in 1997, and this was the deadliest attack on Christian in 1997. But the scars are very deep.
Right. So if I understand it, just to kind of summarize what you're talking about, there was a blasphemy case that happened with a Christian who lived in this region. And then 40 you said, I think you said 45,000 radical Islamists ended up coming. And did they massacre the people? Did they burn their houses? Did they just do all of it? Like, and also how many people ended up perishing from that event?
They they brutally torched the neighbor's village. They burned out almost our 800 houses, almost 800 houses,
Wow.
and 15 to 20,000 people were living there. They were displaced. Their all belongings burned into ashes. And that was very brutal attack.
So it was killing of people, but then also just damage of property across as well. Like people were actually also able to escape, but there were also people that were massacred. Is that
People
what you were saying?
people were hiding. They were finding the safe places, safe sanctuary to save their lives.
Yeah, wow. So what happened after that? Was there any justice for the Christians there, or was there any resolution to it? What happened after that happened?
Nothing happened. Nothing. Even as almost 28 years, the we Christians are in the same fear and the trauma. I want to give you some examples after Shanti Nagar. I want to share with you the uh, different real world example of that, how Pakistani Christians have been accused of blasphemy after this, and often under the false, pretense personal vendettas or systematic discrimination that we face there. I would like to share, if you are aware of Asia Bibi, she was a Catholic Christian, if you know about her. In 2009, in Sheikhupura, Punjab, Pakistan, Asia Bibi, a Christian farmer laborer, was accused of blasphemy after an argument with the Muslim co-worker who refused to drink water from the same vessel as her, claiming it was unclean because she was a Christian. So during this dispute, they alleged that Asia Bibi made derogatory remarks about the Islamic prophet Muhammad. She was sentenced to death 2010 and spent nearly 9 years on death row before acquittal by the Supreme Court of Pakistan in uh, 2018 due to the lack of evidence and inconclusive and contradictory statement of the complainants. Her acquittal sparked a nationwide protest, and she was forced to flee Pakistan. And then she is living in a hiding in Canada with her family. I want to give you one more example. Uh, uh, Nabeel Masih, 2016, in Kasur, Punjab, Pakistan. A very young boy, a 16-year-old Christian boy, Nabil Masih, was accused of liking and sharing a Facebook post deemed blasphemous by the Muslims in his village. He was arrested under Section 295A Pakistan Penal Code and uh, Section 295C of Pakistan Penal Code, and mandatory penalty is the death. Despite his age and lack of intent, Nabil was denied bail multi times and remained in prison for over 4 years before acquitted in 2021. I want to give you one more example. Shagufta Kausar and Shafkat Emmanuel. 2013, in Gojra, Punjab, Pakistan, a poor Christian couple was accused of sending uh, a blasphemous text message in English, despite being they both are illiterate and unable to read or write the English. And the SIM card was registered uh, in Shagufta's name. And this case was likely fabricated over the personal dispute. Both were sentenced to death and imprisoned for 8 years. They were finally acquitted in 2021 after international human rights pressures, and people talk about this internationally. And then one more Christian person, I forgot his name. He was a Christian sanitary worker, 2020, Sargoda, Punjab, Pakistan. A Christian sanitation worker, accidentally he entered in the mosque with the while performing the his cleaning duties in the city. He was accused of disrespecting the sanctity of the mosque and the allegedly disrespecting the Islamic values, which led to false blasphemy charges. He was brutally beaten by the Muslim mob before police intervention. He was about to give his life. Though the formal charges were dropped against him, he and his family had to flee the area due to the fear of brutal violence and the brutality against him. And another guy, Saleem is Masih, 2020, in the city of Kasur, Punjab. Though not a formally charged under blasphemy laws, under blasphemy section, Saleem Masih, a young Christian man, was brutally tortured and killed by Muslim men after he was, found bathing in the tube wall, uh, supposedly reserved for the Muslims. His killers justified that attack by claiming he polluted their water, echoing the blasphemous um, uh, undertones. The family's call for the justice was ignored by the local authorities even until the today. The cases, all these cases, exemplifies how societal, blasphemy sentiments are weaponized against innocent Christian even without formal legal charges. And
Right.
all
It's Go ahead, Faraz.
these cases show how Pakistan's blasphemy law are frequently used to target Christian, often driven by religious hatred. The main factor is the religious hatred against us, revenge or discrimination, uh, causing irreversible damage to our Christian innocent lives. So these are the some example that how we Christians are deliberately, intentionally, or to settle personal score vendettas, we are accused without any evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's interesting because, well, I think it must be very terrifying for Christians to never know what they do could lead to a blasphemy law. It doesn't sound like there's super clear, like, don't do this one thing or don't do this one thing. Because I remember in the last podcast, you had mentioned how somebody had just lost a game of billiards. We call it pool in
yeah.
America, but a game of pool, and all of a sudden it's a blasphemy case. So it's interesting. The other thing I think that stands out to me is that, at least in the United States of America, when somebody is accused of something, there is not, there typically is not, because it can happen, but mob violence.
Yeah.
Like, people can't just take the law into their own hands and then go murder somebody. You have to go, it's a justice system. So you go through the courts, you have to prove with a lot of evidence that the person is guilty. That person has a defense. But it sounds like in Pakistan, there is a lot of mob violence, which is just people taking the law into their own hands and then just going after people. Has it always been like that for us? Like, since the starting of, I know Christians have always been persecuted in Pakistan, like you had said last time, but has the mob violence of just people taking the law into their own hands gotten worse? Or has it always been like that for
It is
Christians?
getting more worse day by days. With the passage of time, it is getting more worse. In the future, in near future, you will see that how these mob lynchings are occurring again. Near future, you will see that, because this is
Right.
this is their psyche. Muslims are they actually, the problem is this is their teaching intolerance, hatred, especially against the Christian. They just finding the opportunity to accuse us. So in future, you will see that this mob lynching is going to more worse, and we have already seen in the past many people were mob lynched, like on 25th of May 2024, Pakistani Christian man Lazar Masih, he was brutally lynched by the radical Islamists, and he was snatched from the police hands, and the police was helpless over there, standing, um, uh, and watching everything, and nobody dared to stop all these radicals, because everyone loves their lives, everyone love their family, especially Muslims. When they
Right.
his house were put on the fire, everything belongs to that family. Their small shoe factory burned down. He was stoned by the Muslims. Even his dead body was dragged by young boys, Muslim boys, eight, from 10 to 14-year-old boys. They were dragging his body on the roads. I can show you all the documented evidence to you, that how their religious hatred towards us. That's that's the reality. And we have seen uh, the Shanti Nagar attack on February 6, 1997 stand as a horroring chapter in Pakistan history, exposing the fragility of the uh, a so-called interfaith harmony, and the uh, uh, you know uh, devastating consequences of the unchecked religious extremism. The
Right.
assault on Shanti Nagar, prominently a Christian village in Khanawal, was not a isolated incident, but the uh, culmination of the escalating tension sparked by the alleged, uh, you know, uh, um, desecration of uh, their religious textbook. That was not proven. The Quran was not desecrated by the Christian, and They blame on us that the name of Christians um, were inscribed on the torn pages of the Quran. Christian cannot do this, and we've seen these consequences of the event fueled by inflammatory rhetoric from the radical clerics unleashed the mob of about 45,000 Muslim extremists who razed the village, destroying homes, churches, school, and livelihoods with the ruthless uh, processions. And this attacks scale about more than 600 families displaced, 800 houses burned down, 14 churches demolished, and the damage was estimated at that time was 25 million US dollar, underscores its catastrophic impact on the community.
Well, thank you so much, Faraz, for being my guest on this podcast today. Very grateful to you. We will do a follow up as well. And to my audience, if you do have any questions or comments you want to leave, please leave them in the comment section. I hope you have a wonderful morning, day, or night, wherever you are in the world. And God bless you. Bye bye.